about in about 2.5 seconds. Now listen. Let's get some PowerPoint presentations about how this can go better next time. Look.
Are we live?
Looks like we're live.
Okay.
Oh, that part was recorded? The fuck?
All
All
right.
right. How y'all doing in there in the chat?
We're tired.
Sorry about the wait. We gotta get some.
Nick had to
Hey,
take a shit.
y'all.
Was taking fucking forever. Like, bro, nasty.
I was trying to blame it on the technical
And
error,
you're
Mike.
crying and shit.
That is a technical error.
Yeah, right.
Damn, y'all put my
Nasty
business out in the
motherfucker.
streets.
Man.
We appreciate y'all being here. Yeah.
Yes, thank
Oh,
you.
look at this. Okay, yes. I'm not used to being on this side. I got a face for radio.
Yeah, it was camera on me. Yeah, so it's part of the reason why we're late is because we're doing a new setup. So, that's why. But we're here now. So we're gonna make it do what it do.
Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all staying up with us. This is the Frames Per Second podcast. I'm your host, Nikki Duce, aka Mr. No Disrespect. And today you're listening in on a live review of the latest HBO Max film titled Dune. It's a highly anticipated film. It's a remake. When did the original come out, Mike?
80
The 80s.
1984.
And right now, one of the I guess best directors out right now, Denise. Is it?
Mm-mm.
Why are you doing a man like that? Yeah.
Denis.
Oh no, I'm meant to say how
It's Denis.
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 Not
What's
Denis.
the last name?
Not Denis. He's not black, nigga. It's not Denis. It's Denis.
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 Yes.
Denis.
Yeah, boy.
Denis.
Last
I don't
name.
know the last
name. I was gonna say Villeneuve.
Villanueva,
Just say
I
V.
think.
I don't want to call him DV either.
It's called DV.
But nonetheless, he's a famous director. He did Arrival. He did Prisoners, I believe.
He did Arrival.
Mm-hmm.
He's been on a roll.
What else did he do? Is that it?
Yeah, he did Prisoners, Enemy, Sicario, Arrival.
Oh yeah, Sicario.
Blade Runner.
He did the new.
2049.
Oh,
Mhm.
oh,
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff.
that makes
dope.
sense.
For the people that
makes
he used in
sense.
this, it makes sense too.
Or even just like with Blade Runner, just the look of it, it makes sense.
It is a remake. What are you talking about? What?
No, I think he was saying that it was based more on the book than the remake, but I didn't watch than the original movie, but I didn't watch the original movie to know. So.
I did. This is still a remake.
Okay.
Gotcha. But yeah, we're reviewing Dune Part 1, which we find out in the middle of the movie or in the beginning of the movie. And as usual, we start off with our first reactions of the film. So I'm gonna start off with you, Rod.
Oh, nah, man, this movie was beautiful. Like the cinematography was great. I was bored out of my fucking mind. God damn, I was bored with this movie, dog. Like,
I knew I was coming.
Hey, I didn't know he was gonna come off the top.
I did.
oh my god, and you know what? I was really tired because we just came from out of the country or whatever. So I was like, man, is it
You see how you
because
do them humble drops?
Yeah, stun on him, bro. Just came from out the country.
Where you come from?
Shit
You
wasn't
might,
even necessary.
yeah, you might as well tell us where you
Just
from.
said I was tired. I was tired. You're like, I just came from out the country, jet setting and shit. You
No.
know how a nigga do.
You know he was custom to customs.
So I thought it was just because, I had been tired. I've been working ever since I've been back. I was like, maybe I'm just tired or whatever. So I was gonna give the movie another shot or whatever because I really do think it's beautifully done. Like every
No question.
scene,
No question. Yeah,
man.
no question.
It really like how I said before about another movie, Titanic. You could pause it anywhere. I'm sure it looks like a picture or whatever. But what?
Nigga, that's a yes no answer.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's why I don't like this fucking part. You're the only one that always takes forever with it.
That's why I don't like this fucking part.
Man, what about you?
Yes, I liked it. It's beautiful. I'll get into how I felt about the film more into the actual review, but no, I enjoyed it.
What about you, Mike?
Hell yeah, I love this shit, man. I love this shit. I mean, I like the original too, but this one was really good.
It was really good. I see why Rob thought it was boring though. I totally get it.
Okay.
I totally get it.
Ken, were you fucking with it?
Shit was stupid.
Stupid?
He's playing.
No.
Damn. All right.
Nah, there are a lot of things I liked about it, but when it ended, I was like, damn, that's it. And I know we'll get into it. I'll go into the reasons why, but I felt wanting after it was over. I was like, damn.
You said wanting?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's the point.
I know. That's what made it fucking stupid.
After a 2-hour something movie.
Yeah. It's part one of a series.
They could have did it better.
Rod hit it on the head.
They could have did it better.
Did you not leave wanting when you finished Star Wars?
Nah,
Yes.
Nah, they could have did it better.
Y'all are tripping.
Nah.
It's a
I don't
different
remember
type of
exactly
wanting.
how I
though.
felt. I don't remember how I felt after Star Wars, but I remember after this, I was like, I shouldn't I feel you on that, Ken. I shouldn't feel like that after a 2-hour something long movie. I don't feel like it's like I ate this meal that didn't actually fill me up.
It was an appetizer. I'm sorry.
A 2-hour and something appetizer. Like, what the fuck?
Nah, but he's speaking on my point is like
Then fuck you then. So what
it's beautifully done. There's nothing wrong with this movie per se. The acting was well done. It was just like 2.5 hours, and I was pissed off when I saw part one. I'm like, oh hell,
I kind of was too.
Because then I saw 2.5. I'm like, this is part one. Is this the shit? Are we ending it next? The next movie got to be over. I'm like, nah, it look like it's trilogy now.
And that's really my main issue.
Yeah, I feel that.
But again, we can get into all of that.
Yeah.
But it's alright. It's super alright. I'll say
Super
that.
alright.
Just because it's the aesthetics and the cinematography. Chef's kiss.
I think
Chef's
that's
kiss.
a really good way to put
Oh,
it.
it's a great setup
Yeah.
to what they are trying to do, and I get the idea. What they're trying to do is kind of, build out this world and create like this series, and they have to kind of retell and reintroduce these characters in a different way from what the original was. So, and I love the idea and everything behind it. It's just the execution and their decision on how they wanted to go about doing it is where I had the biggest issue with.
See, I feel like if y'all watched the original, you'd have been able to, you'd have been ready to throw your TV out the window.
What you mean?
Because the original, they spend damn near 10, 15 minutes explaining this world.
I think I remember once because I did go back and watch like some clippings of it. I've seen parts of the original because I remember the actors in it and stuff like that. But I don't think it stuck with me like that as a child.
Yeah, because it's super confusing. This is confusing as well, but with this one, they more so just kind of drop you into the world and then they let you kind of figure things out, which I think this is better than what Lynch did with the original. The original, like I said, it's very, very confusing. I could see how this could appear boring and dry and it's like nothing's happening, but that's them explaining how all of this stuff works. And if you don't care, then you're going to be like, move on.
No, you're absolutely right, because that was part of the issue that people had with the original, is that it was somewhat confusing to a lot of people because it was kind of all over the place for them.
It's not like I didn't care. That's the thing. It's weird. It's just that I feel like it didn't have to be 2.5 hours long.
It did.
It
absolutely did.
Yes, for what they're trying to accomplish, or what they're trying to go for, it didn't need it to be that because, I felt it did need it to be that. It's just
they probably could have chopped off 30 minutes.
Nope.
Let's keep it a bean.
Nope.
They probably could have chopped off 30
What's a
minutes.
bean? What does that mean?
100. Let's keep it real.
You're young people shit.
That's not young people shit. That's Nicholas shit.
Oh, Nick made that up?
Nick's the only person I've ever heard say this.
this one isn't as rushed as the original. Like when you get to like the middle part towards the end of the original, it kind of just starts jumping. This one isn't. They're taking their time with it.
Yeah, with the
I
budget.
appreciate that.
Yeah, the budget they got for this film, they
Crazy.
They can definitely take their time.
Y'all didn't get invested in these characters?
I did.
How?
How? Yeah.
Chopping and it's too long.
I guess I Ken, you really confusing me because it sounds like you get why they had to do it. You just don't like that they did it. Right. And I feel like if you got invested in the characters and you got invested in the world, then why did you feel like it was too much?
Were you invested in the father?
Yes.
The Duke?
Yes.
Why?
Because I liked the relationship that he had with the son. I really liked the conversation they had at his father's gravesite when he was explaining to him that maybe you'll come into it your own way. I didn't want to be the Duke when I came. Like, I liked the way that he taught, like someone in his position, especially with what he's dealing with, you would think would be a stern, strict father and want, be force his son to take on this legacy. And the fact that he was compassionate and the fact that he was a compassionate leader, a compassionate father. I love the dynamic and the fact that he never married a mother. Like that, it was all interesting to me.
Yeah, that's cool. Somebody said he said that's
Sorry,
cool.
you didn't feel that way?
Nah, he said that's cool. No. Because somebody made a comment in here. We them boys said, "I wish this was a Dune mini TV series." I'm almost with him on that. I almost wish this was a TV series rather than a movie. Personally,
it felt like a pilot episode.
They had a TV series, didn't they? Yeah. There was a TV series.
Something
like that. But it didn't. This did give me. It's like Ken said. I wanted to. Even though I just went through this whole thing, I wish it was broken up and longer in a TV series type of thing.
Yeah.
Because it kind of like Game of Thrones, I guess, in a way. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. It just wasn't that fulfilling. It just was, and as beautiful as it was, as great as the soundtrack was, as great as the actors were, it still was something that just disconnected for me. And I just was like, I don't know.
I will say that I think if there was anything that I did kind of get a trifle bit let down at the end.
Let me.
Well, but I'm not trying to go. I'm not trying to go to the end, and I think that is because I feel like the meat of the story hasn't happened yet.
Gotcha.
So to Ken's point, this really is a setup movie. So when it ends, I'm like, oh, I'm ready for it because the story just about to begin. But to me, that's also makes me anticipate the next one.
But see, I almost felt tricked off of that same reason everything you just said, because they did all this promo with Zendaya and all that, and she wasn't even in the movie like that until they.
That bothered you?
It did
I loved that.
It bothered me.
Love that.
It's
about
like you
the
just
movie.
tricked me. Like because I liked Zendaya as an actor, like, and I wanted to see more of her. And to Ken's point, they're setting it up for more, and I'm sure she's gonna be in the next one, like hella more heavy. But I think I was watching this movie like, yo, when Zendaya is actually gonna come? When is Zendaya actually gonna come? And she doesn't come to like the very end. I was just like,
the film.
But she started off the movie.
Right. Like what?
She would dance.
She was.
Man, I was like, what is
She
going
was smiling
on?
like a motherfucker.
Was it with them blue contacts?
I was mad about that. I was legit mad about that.
But she does actually start off the film. Like, you hear her narration with the
so
backstory.
she starts off and she ends it, and then in the middle she's dancing. And
the main character of the film.
I know, but they made it seem like that. The promo made it seem.
But they
like
got to
that.
sell her though.
I know they do,
Yeah.
because she's amazing. She's amazing, and I wanted to see that, and I was frustrated that I wasn't able to see that right now.
Yeah, it's
it's
consistent.
Yeah.
Well, our main character, what did y'all think about
Timothy.
Paul?
Even
more
That's his
basic.
real name.
Oh,
Timothy
is it?
Chalamet.
Yeah, Timothy Chalamet. But Paul is even more basic name than Tim. For him to be like a royal descent. What did y'all think about how we got introduced to Paul, and also just like his presence in this film when it comes to him possibly being, a chosen one amongst this world that we're in?
I feel like I've been talking a lot, but I did actually like him the second time, because the second time it was on is when I watched it. Well, we tried to start watching it together, but she fell asleep.
Honey, I didn't make it 5 minutes.
She fell asleep. I stayed up.
I knew. I told him this ain't gonna work.
You saw the time limit?
I didn't even see that. No,
Yeah.
I knew my body. This was not gonna work out. So go ahead, but I'm not.
So yeah, the first time I watched it, like I said, I was a little disconnected because I had too many questions. I think the first watch, I couldn't watch it today because I had work to do, but I was kind of in and out while she was watching it today. And I was like, oh man, I actually like Paul. He's actually really interesting than he was the first time I watched it or whatnot. So I liked his character, And I think at that point I knew Zendaya wasn't coming at this point, so I already had that out of my mind. So I know it's.
You just focused on him.
Yeah, I was more focused on him.
I think
or
he's in
whatever. And somebody here in the comments said it's my fault. No, it's not my fault. Like they made it seem like Zendaya's a big name, and they made it seem like she was gonna be part of it.
Yeah, it's nobody's fault, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't ding a movie for advertising the biggest actor in the film.
Shit.
I don't think that's a ding on the film. Plus, the only issue I had with this was the fact that I didn't know going in it was part one.
Yeah, that too.
So
that too.
when it got towards the end, because I know the original, I've seen it a million times. I'm like, there's a lot of shit that they gotta do. And then I remember looking at my watch and being like, oh, wait a minute, what in the fuck? And then it ended. I was like, you sons of bitches.
That's why I said I hated when
You
the
sons of
title said part one, like a little bit underneath the Dune shit.
Mhm.
And I was like, ain't this about a bitch? I'm about to watch this whole
But
shit.
you know what? So I didn't know that they were breaking up the story that we know into part 1 and 2 and whatever. There's a million other stories with Dune.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought they were just gonna make other stories that haven't been made into a movie yet.
Gotcha.
I thought we were still gonna get the whole first story. So when it ended, I was just like, okay, that's some bullshit. But then I was like, wait, but nah, I still thought this was really good.
Mhm.
I get if people are going to it for Zendaya, I get it. I like Zendaya as an actress, but this movie, I wasn't going for good acting. I don't
Really?
No.
Not even with the
Why
cast.
would I walk into a sci-fi movie being like, I need some good acting?
It's because of the
because of the
cast.
actors
Yeah.
in it. Like
I didn't even know she was
they
in the
had
damn
it
movie.
jammed. Like Timothy's an awesome actor. Oscar's an awesome actor. You got Josh Brolin. Like they had it packed with a
But
big
that's
ass
not why you
cast.
go to a sci-fi film. You don't go to a sci-fi film for good
That's
acting.
why I go
But-
to a film.
Okay, well,
Me personally.
people that like sci-fi don't go into sci-fi being like, oh my God, these actors, they're going to kill it.
But it didn't seem like that type of sci-fi though.
It is though. Okay, so here's the thing.
Mhm.
Again, I'm not trying to be a dick
It's okay. Go ahead.
if you've seen the original, the acting was fucking atrocious.
I can imagine.
And
yeah.
that's because David Lynch makes people act awkward. He'll take an amazing actor, put him in the film, and all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck is wrong with them? Why are they acting like this?
Captain Picard.
Yeah, exactly. Running around with a fucking pug dog.
Yeah.
Like, let's go. It's like, what the fuck's happening here? But when you get this, yeah, it's got great actors, but they don't really need to sell a performance. I'm walking into this being like, what's the story? What's going on? And where are they going? So I wouldn't look at a movie like this and be like, oh, I can't wait to see what Zendaya does in this. Because I don't really give a fuck. Zendaya could have been swapped out with damn near anybody. Zendaya could have been fucking Mary J. Blige.
No, she
And I'd have been like, okay.
I want to watch the
No,
movie.
come on, y'all. You know what I mean. I'm saying, like, not to sell the
I would.
film, but I'm saying as that character,
Chicken.
I wasn't walking into this being like, I need this to be amazingly acted.
But I guarantee in part 2, it's gonna be a hell of a part.
I
that
know
character
she is
has a-
because the character is a very prominent character. It's
Yeah.
just they needed to set Paul up
Mhm.
first.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you wouldn't really give a fuck about what Zendaya is doing.
Right.
The original, they rushed that shit so quick, it made zero
Mhm.
sense. What they did with Zendaya in this one makes complete sense.
No, I feel
Why
that.
would they put her in earlier when she's part of the Fremen? They weren't even there yet.
Right. I get that. I totally get that. But I think that was the disappointment because just like everybody at this panel, we didn't know that this was just going to be part 1.
Yeah.
So that was the letdown. Like, what? Like, I just watched 2 hours and 30 some minutes and this is just the part 1. Now, go ahead.
There wasn't any point in watching the movie that you realized, oh, we're not gonna really see her like that.
When I hit pause and it was like 15 minutes.
Right.
I was like, hey, this, I got even worse because I was like, hold on, this nigga's still talking.
I was like, why? How has this movie going on this long and Zendaya has not really had any screen time?
God, I cannot.
I don't want this to turn into this, but that's what I was thinking. So because you asked the question, but yeah, just like Nick, I paused. I was like, wait a minute, it's only like I think it was at the 30-minute mark at that point. It's just 2 hours in. I was like, oh shit, like she's really not in this movie like this.
Yeah, in that part of this,
I never thought you cared about Zendaya.
in that part of the story, she just doesn't have that big of a role.
Yeah.
She really.
No,
doesn't.
I understand
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I get it, and I
role's
can't wait. That's the thing about it. Like I can't wait to see part 2. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure it's gonna be great. You know, that's gonna be the meat of it. I'm sure.
You gonna
And
judge
it's
the
just
hell
a
out of
setup.
part 2. Like,
No, I think
Zendaya
I think they're gonna nail it. I think they're gonna nail it. I think this is a good setup. Contrary to what I'm saying, I think this was a good setup. It's just that I felt a little tricked going into it. If I would have known that this was a part 1 or a setup or whatever, I think I would have felt a lot better about it. Which is why I felt a little bit better when she watched it. I was like, okay, now I understand what's happening. now I can accept it a lot more.
Well, what did you feel about the story that we did get as far as like obviously and throughout this film we get multiple backstories on like these different cultures and tribes and stuff like that. So what did you think about that and like how it added more to the tension of like these houses going against each other?
I don't think I needed that much of it. I know Mike said that, they did a good job. I don't think I needed that much.
That's the main story.
I understand that, but I don't think I needed all of that.
You just want Zendaya up there just dancing around and talking. That's what you want. You want her just fucking...
I just don't need 2 hours of setup of the houses and stuff.
That's my thing is I agree with you on that.
I don't think I need that.
I don't think it needs to be. I like what we got.
Understand people are. I understand who these Ravagers people are.
What Ravagers?
Like the people that...
The House of Harkonnen.
I got the name on it. Yeah, the ones
that's not them. See,
the House of Harkonnen.
That's not the people he's talking about.
Who he talking about?
You're talking about the people that ended up killing Josh Brolin. That's not the House of Harkonnen.
That's not the same people. Right?
That's what I'm saying. Nick's.
Oh.
I thought when he said the big people, that's why I was talking about that big motherfucker.
The people in the beginning was I can't remember the names, but
Harkonnen.
Yeah, they were the ones in the beginning, and those people were somebody different. So like
they were working together.
Yeah,
but they weren't from the same house.
They're from the Emperor, right?
So the people that you're talking about, I forget the name too now. Yeah. Starts with an S.
Sardain. Yeah, Sardain.
Oh, okay.
The S people.
Somebody said Rob wants to watch Euphoria.
That's what it sounds like.
Kind of.
I said he didn't want to turn into that.
What? That's disrespectful. Zendaya is not that bad. When did I say Zendaya was
You
bad?
weren't. He's talking to people in the chat. Just
Huh?
It's not to you. Not to you. It's not directed to you.
Yeah. It's directed to me.
Oh,
MYKE. That's I know how to read, motherfucker. This is my name. Anyway,
I'm
just going by what they said.
You sure did. I appreciate it. Thank you for
I support my black women, Mike. I believe my black women.
She said it's not.
Yep.
And we're going to get to that as far as this film, too. But go ahead, Mike.
Oh, jeez. See, I said from day one, this was not the movie to do a live.
You did.
I said that.
And I didn't understand why.
The people wanted this.
Why?
Oh, people wanted why, because I knew y'all were going to hate it.
No, I don't hate it. That's what
I knew y'all weren't going to like it. Put it that way.
I like it.
No, you don't.
I don't love it.
Nick, why are you lying?
No,
You're not even a good liar.
No, I'm saying like there's a good movie in this too. This is the director's cut. I ain't expect the director's cut, Mike. I don't.
Sardukins.
Yeah.
That's not how it's pronounced.
I was like, why
did she just do that? That was random. Why did I deserve that? I don't understand.
Yo. But I like how they fit the backstory while we're watching the story. That was creative. I just but leaning towards Rod's point, like it did get to a point where, like, all right, y'all might as well just make this make a prequel before y'all call Dune. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, if you want to give me backstory.
Before you call Dune?
Yeah, like don't give me this movie, give me the prequel so I can watch the
Dune is the planet. You can't call it no Dune.
Is the beginning of the story.
Yeah, you need this part.
Once again, I hate to but real quick, I wanted to make a correction. I was totally incorrect when I said that George Lucas was not influenced by Dune. I was completely incorrect. So I want to make that.
Somebody.
I don't know if anybody else said it. I realized it afterwards when I looked it up. I was totally wrong there. He was totally influenced by Dune. Anyway, moving on. If you got dropped into Star Wars, I know you don't know because by the time you were older, there was already, a bunch of them. But when Star Wars came out, like that was basically a setup for other shit to happen. It's not like there was this whole crazy action-packed story with New Hope. So it's like people are so like right now these days that they can't calm down and just wait for the shit to unfold. Like they are setting up an extremely confusing world. Even with this movie being 2.5?
2.5. 2 hours, 35 minutes
long. There's still so much confusing shit that if I did not watch the original, I'd probably hate this shit. The only reason I even understand what's going on is because they're basically following the same story as the original.
And that's the thing. I don't know how big this world is. I'm just thinking about it from the standpoint of like, I'm getting a lot of backstory and I feel like it's taking away from me following Paul to whatever he's about to do.
Paul is the backstory.
I'm getting that now based off of your context, but I'm just saying that's why I don't know shit about Dune. So that's why I'm hearing this shit, it's like I'm learning new information. But if you asking me as a viewer watching this shit, Yeah, nigga, like you could have took half this shit out. We don't give a fuck about these motherfuckers like that. But
Are you saying?
will.
Wait. So are you saying that when you were, as a viewer watching this, like you didn't feel like this world is huge? Like even in the intro when she's talking about the spice, and when they start talking about how spice runs the intergalactic travel and all that,
Spacecraft.
like you didn't feel like, damn, like this is like a whole world.
yeah, but I don't know. But I didn't know how much we were gonna get information of that world. I thought we
So
were just
fine.
focusing.
So you just didn't want to just find out.
Not a, I
If they
did want to
took half
find
it out,
out,
you
but I
still
thought I was
wouldn't
gonna find out in 2.5 hours, and I didn't. I found out a little piece of it because, like Mike said, there's still a big ass part of this story.
Yeah,
I still gotta learn about.
This is a New Jack thing. This is people that really don't like sitting down and being sucked into a world. It's nobody's fault. I'm not insulting.
Yeah.
I just think that this is part of newer cinema watchers. They don't want to just be enveloped in some shit. They want the shit to get to the point, get to the action, get done so I can leave.
In a movie, yes, but that's why I said I wish this was a TV series. Like, I think what am I trying to say? The expectation would be set differently if this was a TV series. I'd be ready to kind of sit with it and work through it and all that. But being that it's a movie, it's like I want a intro, climax, and ending. Like it's like I want it in a traditional movie way, and that's not.
Because
I don't know because now I gotta wait however long it takes to make part
I
two.
know, and that makes it so awesome.
This is how things work. I am glad this is a movie and not a series because motherfuckers need to break that shit and stop being like, okay, a movie needs to just hurry up and end. I want to sit down and be like, okay, I paid fucking $13 and I'm sitting in this uncomfortable ass seat. I gotta pee and this motherfucker behind me is smacking on shit. I want to get my money's worth. I got my money's worth. This shit took its time, unlike the original. It took its time. It introduced you to a world. It gave you all kinds of details that we didn't get with the original film. It made you connect to characters that before, like you remember when they killed Duncan in the original, you were just like, who cares?
Mhm.
When
They killed in the original.
Yeah.
I know, but in this one, I
In
care.
this one, they
Honey.
stretched his character
Yeah.
out. So you were like, because in the original, when he died, you see Paul being like, oh my God, not Duncan. And meanwhile, I'm like, who gives a fuck? Duncan ain't done shit. This one, they stretched his character out. They put an actual arc to him. They gave him a personality. This one, it had to set this stuff up. And when you're talking about you don't care about the houses
I
and
still
all that,
don't give a fuck about him.
You ain't give a
That's
fuck
cool.
about Duncan.
No,
Honey,
I
want
disagree. I
Duncan
disagree
in the
with him
second
on
one. The way he was tearing them niggas up in that hallway.
I didn't. I don't know what it was.
I fuck with Duncan. I fuck with Duncan.
Yeah, I don't know.
Honey,
yeah,
Khal
man, I don't
Drogo
know.
need
It
to
just
come back.
It was he was
he always dying early, ain't he?
Moving stars
So he was
in
safe?
this movie.
No, I said he was okay, but when he died, it just didn't affect me at
You
all.
ain't feel that when his head hit the ground. You ain't feel that.
I said the ground there.
Nah, I didn't feel it. I thought he was a dope character. Don't get me wrong. I thought he was
He
cool
was
character, but you know,
he died for them. Like
No.
he like when he fucking did the shit with the sword, he did. I was like, oh,
Did he have to die?
Yes.
yes. There was a Sardaukar. That was their name. But
Yes.
those are supposed to be the baddest motherfuckers out there. So when they showed up, like you're supposed to just expect that
It
they're
felt
just gonna wipe
scary.
him out. Like it's done. He took out like 6 of them before he went out. That was a powerful scene.
That was before he got stabbed. He still
Right.
took that shit out and killed
And
a
kept
couple
fighting.
more of them. Ooh,
Right.
that
I
was
like
that
the one when they shot the thing. I don't know if y'all said that just now, but when he
Oh, the
shot
little-
the thing and he moved it out or whatever.
Yeah.
Like so, no, he was dope. But for whatever reason, I just didn't feel anything when he died. So I know y'all said he had an arc and all that, but I just didn't feel it.
Okay, so then maybe they should have spent more time with him then. So maybe this should have been a 3-hour film. So y'all are talking about chopping shit out. If they chop more shit out,
Y'all
it'd be
just
even
didn't pay
worse.
attention. Look. You had Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin's soldier and Duncan soldier were two completely different people. Like the way he went in and he was with the Freeman and
Right.
he
I did pay attention
respected
to
them. And the way that he when he came, like Josh Brolin was like all about like as soon as they came up, it's like they showed them as two completely different types of soldiers. They both loved the king or whatever, and both were protecting the family. But he just did it in he had more heart with the way that he did it. He had more heart towards Paul. He had more heart towards the family. Like he
Who
just
did?
Duncan did.
Oh, I
Duncan.
disagree.
hell
I
no.
would flip those two.
What?
Yes.
No, okay, I'm with that.
What movie were you watching?
You
I would flip
You
those.
talking about with him towards the family or him towards Paul?
Because here's the thing, like
Duncan was overly dedicated.
No, I'm not saying Duncan wasn't dope and he wasn't dedicated. I just think that what's his name in the movie?
Josh Brolin. We just gonna call him Josh Brolin.
I feel like I feel like I don't know, man. Like because they had a moment together where they were fighting and he was training them. Like I felt more connected.
Different.
It felt like more like. I know it was different. I felt that more than Duncan and the Duncan and Paul connection.
Every time Paul saw Duncan, he flipped out. Duncan. So you're automatically supposed to know that there's a connection there.
I understand.
And again,
that.
with the original, they clipped all that. You barely saw it. With this one, they spent more time. You see him walking with him and talking to him, patting him on the back, hugging him, all this shit.
They were like the same person, just different. Like, even
but I like him better. Even when people was disrespecting, like call him sire. Like I like how he was with
no, because they wasn't gonna get nowhere with the way he was treating them people. Like he was not open-minded enough to understand and take in the fact that these people have a culture and a people.
Yes,
he lived with them.
What are you talking about?
He was like, when he spit, he was like, no, that's not an insult. That's them being
Giving
like, yo, water is the most precious thing in the desert. So him giving you his moisture, his body moisture, that is an actual sign of respect. Whereas if they went with Gurney,
Josh Brolin,
Gurney, it would have been a wrap. But Gurney would have started a fight.
But I thought Brolin's character was talking about the bad guys, the Baron and his crew when he was talking about didn't he name the Harkey?
But that wasn't who he was talking. That's not who they were fighting. That's not who he was going against. I think he just, because he had been scarred and been in battle on this planet before, he had a chip on his shoulder. So he's on guard. It was necessary for them, but it's just the way that he went about it was not going to get what the king was trying to do. He was trying to ultimately join these people and become one allied force. They were not going to get there with him with the way he was. So that's
who are y'all talking about? You keep saying he. I'm sorry. Gurney. Got it.
Yes. So, but Duncan, on the other hand, went before them, and he was able to spend time with them, learn their ways, learn the culture, learn the land, have a certain respect and appreciation for the country, which Josh Brolin's character did not have.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
That's fine, but
Josh Brolin was,
and that
makes him a better character in this.
I'm saying that it makes him a different type of character.
Right.
And the fact that you're saying that there was, like, you didn't feel anything. We
were talking about him and Paul's relationship. I felt more of a relationship with him than I did with Duncan.
And what I was doing,
I understand Paul would get excited when he saw him. I want my boy and all that shit.
About all that.
Like, I ain't give a fuck about all that. Like, that shit was like,
Hey, Robert, boy, he was like, oh, fuck with Duncan. Don't call me no boy. It's not about being a better character. It's just about when you're talking about who had more dedication and who went out with more heart.
Okay.
I can't see how you can say that was more Gurney than Duncan.
Man.
Duncan knew he was going up against the baddest motherfuckers in the galaxy. He took them on by himself, and he knew he was going to die. He knew he wasn't going to make it out of
Gurney
there.
did too. When he went outside, when
Gurney didn't die yet, did he?
We didn't see a body. We didn't see a body.
When did he die? I don't remember this one.
that whole base blew
when
up.
the
whole city
were attacking the city, and he was like, they went out there with no shield, no nothing. He was like, nah, let's go. You with me?
That was stupid. Okay. That was stupid.
I'll just be quiet. Yeah. Anyways, nothing.
Don't worry about it.
Nothing. So, fuck. That fucked me up. Nah, I can't. Okay. See, this is the problem. I don't even think about that. The aspect of there's spoilers because I've seen the original movie. And this is only half of the original movie. So now I just realized there's shit that I can't say. Because it's going to be spoilers.
That's crazy.
I never thought about that.
That's good.
They said Gurney ran out with fighting wearing pajamas and slippers. That's what I'm saying. That motherfucker's gangster.
That was stupid.
You respect
Gurney,
I did.
That was stupid as hell. These niggas going to fight some goddamn ships dropping bombs.
One thing
what y'all talking about?
Mike, you mentioned it when he was talking about the guy who spit at the Duke.
Mm-hmm.
The scene before that, or scenes before that, when Paul was talking to that one servant who was pouring water on the plant. He was like, yeah, we gotta feed these motherfucking plants worth of 5 men. And he was like, can't we just kill the plant and save the water? He was like, nah, these sacred. Mm-hmm. And then you look at the people out there and shit who they literally gotta put their piss, sweat, and tears in this shit in this bucket.
They drink piss.
Yeah. That shit was
filtered.
But
I was just waiting for them to say
chop shit out. Make the movie shorter. Chop shit out.
I was just waiting.
You had to see this shit. You had to understand, like, even though that the movie is setting these up to be the good guys, you still have to understand that this is still a class system. Like, these motherfuckers are still taking advantage of all of the people that are on Arrakis.
I was more so talking about like we ain't have to do that long ass rescue scene. That's
Which
all.
rescue scene?
When they was collecting the spice and all that.
With the
shit.
worms? Yes,
Yeah.
you did.
Oh my God! So
Yes.
okay, see, this is the problem. Not a problem with you. This is a problem kind of with the film because it ends so abruptly that you don't know yet that these things are extremely important. So unless you're willing to walk, and I know that I sound like a dork, and that's fine. But unless you're willing to walk into the theater, sit down, and be like, I'm about to spend 3 hours getting sucked into a world, this ain't the movie for you.
But I didn't know I was going into parts.
I know you didn't.
Yeah.
I know you didn't. That's what I'm saying. That's the problem with the film because it didn't set up that expectation. And I don't know why it did that. I don't know why it didn't advertise this as part one. That's weird.
It kind of did though, because I know I specifically heard them comparing it to Star Wars, and when they were comparing it to that, to me in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, this is an extended story. They said this is the new generation Star Wars,
But the advertisements didn't do that. So if I didn't see, because I don't know, I'm not
That
sure
part
what you-
came
what you
later
saw.
because I saw
Correct.
it a
If
lot.
you went
Correct.
just off the trailers,
No. That part in terms of what you were saying came a lot later, like closer to when
when
the
it
movie
came
was about to
out.
release.
I know, but what I'm saying is if you only went off the trailers, if all you saw were the trailers, that's all you saw.
Yeah, that's all I saw too.
If all you saw were the trailers, you would not know this was a part one because I didn't know this was a part one until I sat down and saw it say part one.
Me too. Me
so
too.
that's kind
Yeah,
of the problem with
likewise.
the film. So if you're walking in kind of blind, I can see you being like, what the fuck?
Which I did because I didn't see. All I saw was the damn poster. Dune coming.
Right.
I ain't see any
Dune's
trailers.
still
Anything
coming.
like he's still. Yeah, he's still there.
Here yet, bro.
Yeah, he ain't here.
What? Let's get it. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick because I wanted to touch on something you said, like about not enjoying movies that you just got to sit in because I typically do. Like I like Lord of the Rings, Hobbits. I like Harry Potter's. Like all of those movies are extremely long and it takes a lot of time to set up similar shit like houses and stuff. Because Lord of the Rings has houses, Harry Potter has houses. All these people have houses, but for some reason I enjoy those more, even though I know it's a lot more to come.
I know the reason.
What's the reason?
Those movies have a beginning, middle, and ending.
Yeah. And
It's just you're getting more. You're getting more beginning, middle, and ending.
So yeah, that's what it is. So that's what I felt like was lacking for me personally in this movie. Like I feel like they still could have did what they did, but still made it feel more of a traditional movie setting.
This is just beginning, middle.
No.
We'll get to the end.
Yeah.
If I forget, remind me. But there is a very specific reason. I know that you feel like that. We just haven't gotten to that part yet. But when I say being immersed in a film, I'm saying because Lord of the Rings, it didn't really need to spend a whole lot of time setting this shit up. You walk in, there's elves, there's dwarves,
Yeah, but it was different.
orcs.
But it was everybody had their places in that, and everybody
Yeah, but it
had a
wasn't that
certain.
important. It really
I
wasn't
feel
that
like
important.
It was, though.
Until the little dwarf dude goes and he meets all the other motherfuckers with arrows and shit. It's like they were introducing people as they came along. Whereas this movie couldn't do that. It couldn't introduce the houses as they came along because you'd have been 10 times more confused.
I got you.
Let's get into the politics of this whole thing because this whole thing is based off of some political shit. Where we got the Duke Leto, who's Paul's father, receiving this enrichment of the land, which is what Nate was alluding to earlier about how important the spice is when it comes to just traveling in general. It's basically they gas. What did y'all think of the emperor giving the Duke this land to crop and taking it from the Harkonnen? But at the same time, he's using it to set him up. I thought that was interesting. What did y'all think about that?
That's my biggest issue, is the fact that they changed the pronunciation of their names. It was Harkonnen. They call them Harkonnens in this. I don't know why. It irked me the whole fucking film.
Did it?
I don't know why. It just did.
That makes you sound like a bit of a dork.
Yeah, I'm a dork, but that shit didn't make. I was like, what? It's Harkonnens. It's always been Harkonnens. Why are you calling them Harkonnens?
It's Harkonnens in
It's
this world.
Harkonnens. I will not respond to Harkonnens.
The House of H.
Yo, when they talking about travel without moving, they talking about teleportation.
They talking about getting high, bro. I told
Oh,
you that.
man,
That spice is space.
Hey,
crack.
that
Yeah.
shit, bro. When Paul got a whiff of that shit,
He's like, oh, this.
That nigga bent down in front of the
man,
machine.
he didn't want to come back in the ship.
He sure did. He said, here.
He was like, wait a minute. Yeah, I know it's a worm.
That's what his dreams really took off.
I can ride a motherfucker. I think I can ride that motherfucker. That's when you know you got that real good shit.
Yeah, he was gone.
Oh, that's that booger sugar. I feel like he was talking about
That was
it.
that good shit.
But
Spice.
yeah, like I thought that was interesting because we get from Zendaya's narration, mining the spice, you could become richer than the emperor.
Mm-hmm.
which I felt like when we see Batista, the nephew of this, the Baron, come in like, why the fuck did he do that shit? Why he take it from us and give it to them? And he was like, don't see it as a gift, see it as an arrangement
or something like that.
something like
what
that.
he said.
Yeah, he said not everything. It probably wasn't like an act of love or something like
Right.
that. Yeah.
So then why set this up?
You have to wait for part 2 to find that part out, unless you really want me to tell you now.
No, because I was asking why I set it up because the Duke found that out. He knew that this was a setup. He talked to his son. He was like, "Look, I know why they did this to me. They are scared of the influence our house has over the galaxy or whatever, and we can overpower them. So he set me up so they can come and kill me. But I'm hoping I can use this to do an alliance with other, galaxies." But I would think he would have been more on it, P's and Q's with that if you know that two sides are trying to come in on
He
you.
was on his P's and Q's, but I don't think he knew that the guy that betrayed him would betray him. Like
Right.
that was a guy that they trusted.
Mhm.
I forget his name, Ewan or something, the doctor or whatever.
Yeah.
They never thought that he would be the
the
one
song.
to betray them.
I
And he-
was singing it.
Ewan.
I was doing that in the
What?
movie. I was like, I should be
What's the
ashamed of
song?
myself. But
Oh.
yeah, that's all I could think about.
What is that from?
I don't know.
What's the group? Yeah.
Young Bloods. Was,
Yeah, Young Blood.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Sorry, y'all. It was like West, East, Little John area.
But yeah,
era.
yeah.
He didn't expect for him to be to betray him or because he had his wife or whatever. But yeah, I think that it's not, to Mike's point, it's not so much about him not being on his P's and Q's. He was on it. He knew what he had to do. But considering the history with these people that he was coming to now try and make an alliance with, that wasn't going to happen overnight because they've been so used to being overtaken by the Harkonnens, right? So he has to gain their trust before he can become in alliance with them. And that was not going to happen very quickly. So I just think he did not realize, he knew what he was up against. Time, because he had that rat in his midst, time just wasn't on his side, which he quickly realized as well.
Oh, that's what he told to Jessica. Like,
Yeah, he wanted to be a different type of ruler because I forget who said it, but one of them was just like, "Oh, we're just trying to see who the next person is going to take advantage of us is."
Right.
Oh, his son said that to him. He said, "We'll be no different than the other
No,
people."
somebody else said that though. Like I thought one of the Freemen said that later on. Like they're trying to see who the next person that's going to take it. It doesn't matter.
Gotcha.
At any rate, he was trying to be a different type of ruler. All of that stuff takes time. He just didn't have the time because that dude betrayed him.
But did he betray him? Because then
He shut the shield down.
Didn't he give him the that little?
He tried
That
to
was
help.
for revenge
That
because
tooth decay shit?
he didn't like the Baron regardless.
Mhm.
So he was just like, "Look, I got to do this anyway
to get my wife.
to get my wife because I think she's still alive, but I know I have to kill you, but at least you can go out by taking him out too. So here, you're going to do us both a favor." So he did betray him. He shut the shield down and got half the damn people killed.
He'll blowing them ships up.
Damn, I was just like, damn, bro, why you have to do all that? You know your wife gone.
He doesn't.
He didn't know that.
He doesn't know that she's gone. And I don't even know she's gone.
Would you trust that fat motherfucker telling
He
you?
doesn't have, I mean, if that's your wife and he's saying, yeah, she's still alive, you're like, "Oh, I don't believe you. She dead, so fuck it." No, you're
It's
going to
something
do what
about
you...
piecing her up like a dog, putting her in pieces like a doll or something like that.
I always think I always think that she when the bad guy says shit like that,
See,
motherfucker.
this is
already
you
gone.
once again putting yourself now into the movie.
That's true. That's true.
Instead of being the character. The character is like, "I gotta get my girl back. I can't get no other woman." You saw him. You know, man, look, I don't want no. I gotta get this back.
He
bro.
said, "I ain't a duke.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
can't get no concubine."
Hey, bro, I'm trying to get this back, boy. So he was like, "I'll do whatever you want." Oh, take this a whole fucking army out? Deal. So he did what he had to do.
What did y'all think about the Baron?
He was tight. You didn't like him?
I like the original Baron.
Do you like the character better? I like the design of this one
the
better.
design,
Yeah, because he got like
Yeah.
futuristic scoliosis, don't he? Because that little shit in his
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, he was like Jennifer Lopez with that, the cube.
The cell.
Yeah.
That's it. She's like the cell.
Yeah, they didn't really do a lot with him in this one. But yeah, the designer with the
Yeah, that little noise, that little
Yeah.
clicking shit.
yeah,
Yeah, that was
when he rolls
was
about
unnerving.
That shit creeped me out.
I was like, damn, creep you out.
Yeah, because it was just seeing a fat motherfucker just get up that slowly. And just,
Hey,
I didn't know how big he was. I was like, oh, is he a snake or some shit?
nah, the original is fucked up.
Yeah,
Like that
they
motherfucker
took
got
that
issues.
aspect of him like being like he liked little boys. And
Really?
he was really
Yeah.
fucked up in the original.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, I mean,
We
it's
haven't
not
figured that
like-
out. Yeah.
I don't know why they took it. It's not like that they can't do that. The guy's supposed to be a villain,
Right.
so that would still work. But maybe they just didn't want that aspect in this film.
Because there were
Or maybe it
issues
hasn't gotten
with
there
it.
yet.
Like
Nah, it would've-
they you know, the community didn't like that part of it
Oh, really?
What
Yeah.
community?
when he attacked that kid.
But I mean, what community didn't like that?
Oh, they said it was homophobic, and it was showing and
Who
and
said
violence.
this?
Yeah, the gay people.
The gay folks said that was homophobic.
Yeah, they didn't like that shit, bro. That's what I read.
Back
That's
in
what I
the
read
80s,
back in the
so
80s.
there
This
was
is
criticism,
84.
So there was backlash
Yeah,
back in the
yeah,
80s.
Did Dave Chappelle tell you this?
Nah,
I don't remember. I never.
but he
heard
was
that
saying like
before.
that.
Yeah, that's true. I never heard that. You're probably. I guess that would make sense then.
Yeah, I did some.
They didn't want those
Yeah,
problems.
yeah. I went because I was like, okay, what was the reaction? Because I remember that when this shit came out, like nobody was fucking with it. Like,
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a flop.
yeah, it was flop. Nobody liked Dune, so it was really interesting to me how over time this became a cult classic. You know, so I was just kind of reading up on it and stuff like that, and I saw that they didn't like that shit, that particular scene.
I guess I
Shit like
guess
that.
I get it.
I mean,
guess I get
you
it.
remember it, so.
But
you
if
know.
he's a pedophile, pedophiles and gay folks not the same thing. So I don't really see how that's homophobic. But it's not
yeah, it was
my
like a
place to tell them that this is not that. So
yeah.
I get it. But I think they could have snuck that shit in. He could have did a little something.
Especially a
Then they
little bit
gonna do
more
it in part
now than back then, you know.
They're
So
gonna have hella time to do it in part two. How long
I
these
hate
movies
y'all,
is?
man.
But now the part of
So
the
they had to build on everything else. You know what I'm saying? On the next one, they gonna, you know what I'm saying? He gonna have more time on the Baron. Gonna be a whole movie about Baron.
it could be because they left out a lot of the barren scenes.
They did.
Nah.
Yeah.
what did y'all the one part of the film that I did like even more is the whole voice shit with Paul and his mama and her whole community with the
You know, like the telepathy.
What are they called? The Bennis.
The
Garris,
The Bee Gees.
Garris something.
Yeah.
The witches.
They ain't gotta be witches.
That's what they called it.
Bene Gesserit. Bene Gesserit.
Yeah.
yeah, the
What they
Bene-
called?
They are
called her a
witches.
witch. Yeah.
They are witches.
Did they classify themselves as witches? They
Yes.
called themselves. They said I'm a witch.
When she was
They
talking
know
to the
spell,
Baron,
like,
yeah,
they-
where
they're
he said, you
still-
know, he referred to her as the witch.
I thought that was insulting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You don't remember when she had Paul put his hand in there and he thought he was feeling something that was hurting his hand? And
Heat.
yeah,
Yeah,
thought his hand was burning.
they're basically witches.
I thought it was just crushing his hand or some shit. I thought it was just
that
hurting the
was-
motherfucker.
that
Okay,
was
yeah.
heat.
Visions of fire. Y'all didn't pay attention.
No, because
That was
he
heat.
visions of fire.
oh, I didn't know
And
about
then he
the
put
fire.
his hand in the water afterwards. Like, is it
And then she
cool?
said, pull your hand down
Yeah.
and look at it. He pulled it out and it was fine.
Oh, I
It
thought
looked like it was fucked up.
See,
His
this
hand?
It
Nah.
just was.
This is
he
why-
just-
Burned.
He
It just
skinny.
it just looked like he was kind of bony. I
He's
guess.
pale.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah, I thought he had bruises on his hand.
Nah, white folks get bruises like that. You just hit them like that. The whole hand be funny.
But nah,
No, but I thought that was dope.
he was a
though. I thought
soldier,
that-
though.
I did think that was a dope aspect.
Soldier. Y'all need to be scared of that motherfucker.
Oh,
When a white person get that goddamn look in their face.
Hey, yeah, she got scared too. She was like, all right, fuck it.
At that point, that motherfucker might be a shooter. You need to back up.
he
Get
was
away
remembering
from
his training. That's what
Hey,
his mama
nah,
said.
even though like, this one right here, this one crazy. She got scared. You right, Nick? She was like, I ain't
Nah,
fucking
cause
with him.
she was like, hold on, nigga, I ain't had
She was
nobody
like,
look
yeah,
at me like that
We
since.
bring this shit. Let me get
84.
this damn needle away from your neck. I probably need to poke your ass.
I thought she was gonna do it one time. I thought he was gonna sneeze or some
That shit
shit.
was gangster when she had his ass coming in like, come here, sit down, kneel. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, he was like, you gonna use the voice?
He said, you disrespect my mama.
Right.
That was like when your grandmama come into town and she had you. I was like, I don't care what you got to say. You snatched his ass up, boy. He sat there. He was like, yeah, man.
Nah, that was dope.
What did y'all think about that conversation she had with her mama, with his mama afterwards, as far as him being possibly the chosen one, but there was other select like
They didn't spend enough time.
candidates.
Like, did you know like what they were trying to do?
I got the gist of it based off that conversation. Like I felt like they were just testing to see who was gonna be the next one, and he may be in it.
No, like
Or I could be wrong.
she wasn't supposed to have a son. She was
Right.
supposed to have a
yeah,
daughter.
because she said, "You the one that fucked up the whole thing, trying to have a son. We all have daughters because you can't control men or something like that. Was it like
Man,
that?
she
No,
said something about men that was fucked up. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, that's what I
don't
remember.
either.
Like wasting all that power in the man or some
So
shit like that.
what I got from it is that on top of the fact that he has this lineage from the witches, he also is the Duke, right? He's or the Duke's son. So he has this power and could also become king. So the gist that I got was that she needed to have a daughter so that it's like one or the other. And part of the thing with him is that he's got this lineage on both sides. That's the way I took it.
Yeah, because she did say that to him. Like, you got two.
She wanted the witches wanted her to have a daughter so the daughter could marry the son of the other house. So that they just want power. Because apparently the Bene Gesserit can control their children. Like they can decide if they want a boy or a girl. Which I don't know if they really clarified.
They
that.
didn't.
They didn't.
They skipped over that. But for whatever reason, I can't remember her name now either.
Reverend Mother.
Yeah, what was
Jennifer.
her name? Was it Jennifer?
The mom.
I think so. Yeah,
Jennifer.
Yeah, she decided to have a son instead.
Oh, Jessica.
Jessica. There we go.
Yeah, they're all trying to
Lady
get someone that's going to become the I don't even like saying this shit. The Kwisatz Haderach, which is supposed to be like the all-seeing. And this is the part I thought you'd really be into.
It's like Neo.
Huh? It's like who?
Like Neo from the Matrix.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But I thought, because I thought about you immediately when they were talking about their take on seeing the future.
Yeah.
Because he can't see all of the future.
Yeah.
But it was like that same conversation we had. It's like he can see parts
Right,
of it.
I like that. Yeah.
But that future can change depending on what's happening in that that situation.
No,
So
I did like that part.
I thought that part was actually
No,
pretty
it
dope.
is,
But
yeah.
I don't think they really went into enough detail with what the Kwisatz Haderach is supposed to be doing,
Well, see that.
which is why the movie should have been longer.
You know what I'm saying? You could have took some of the shit out and threw that in there. But that's me. That's me. But as you can see, there's a lot of political shit going on, and we finally see a first strike from the House of H. Was it the Harkonnen? The other night.
Harkonnen.
The Harkonnen. They make their first move with that little bee thing, the bee spy.
The Hunter Seeker.
Yeah.
That was dope.
It was.
I like that scene.
Yeah.
I like the way that scene was executed too.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really get it because before it was like I thought it was if he didn't move, it wouldn't be able to see him. But
I
his
think he
ass
was on the side of it or something like
his
that.
ass was moving.
He was standing right in front of it.
Was he in front of it?
No,
Yeah.
he moved in front of it. He was over here,
Yeah.
and then he moved. And I was like, wait, I thought if you move, it sees you.
I thought because he was behind that little plant thing, there was like some static electricity fucking with it.
That's
So
what I
he
thought the
was-
second time I watched it. I thought that was blocking him.
So you watched it twice?
Oh,
I wanted to.
Damn,
name
bro,
it.
I watched it 1.5. I think we talked about it here at the studio. We all said we wanted to watch it again.
That's a shit.
I wish I could have watched it in full again because it did seem more interesting the second time, for sure.
Yeah, and this is where we get closer to the scene where they meet. Was he the leader of the Freemen? The guy who spit down at him. So yeah, we
Shiltar or whatever his name
we
is.
meet him. And then that's where we also go to the scene where we finally get to see the worms that they've been talking about.
And we didn't really see it. We just saw his mouth.
Right, I was disappointed in that too. But now I'm not because I know it's going to be.
you were.
I wanted to see the
You
worms.
didn't
I
feel the
wanted-
tension in that
No,
scene.
No. I felt the tension. I just wanted to see that motherfucker. Look, that motherfucking worm, like from the first one, that's the one thing I always remember was
Right.
seeing them motherfucking worms in that damn movie.
So I get it now. You know what I'm saying? Like I get that this was set up now. I understand that. But I'm saying in the moment, I'm like, yo, we're not getting what we came for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just,
But I thought it was dope how they when they ate that big ass damn miner thing, how the motherfucker came up and it looked
but
it looked a lot.
It still was just like kind of.
But if you've never seen it, like if you're a first time watcher of this movie and this is your first time seeing that big ass worm, how huge that thing is,
That shit was
that
big
shit
as
gonna fuck with
yeah,
you.
that I like that scene.
The fact that you didn't see the worm is what made that scene so fucking amazing. All you saw was the
Its
worm's
mouth.
mouth. And just its mouth took out that entire area. Like,
I thought the scene was
Y'all
nice. It
motherfuckers
was a little bit
impatient,
long, but it was
bro.
nice.
It's not impatient, man.
it is. If
It's
you
not
like, I want to see
impatient.
the whole worm. I'm not getting what I'm getting.
Nah.
You get it.
I'm gonna
just
tell you
not
why
right
it's
now.
not impatient because it's not impatient because I understand it now. I'm talking about in the moment. I'm not understanding why I'm not getting it. I understand now. I think this is a really good setup movie. I do. Like looking back at it, this is a good setup movie.
I don't think that's what. At least what I'm saying. I disagree because
Which part?
I disagree with the initial showing of the worm being a disappointment because even in the moment,
No, not the initial point. The fact that we still didn't quite see it like that. We still didn't get much of it. It just was in the ground for most of the movie.
You saw the whole last worm at the end of the movie. It came out.
He's not talking. He's talking about the very first time you saw it. He was expecting a more impactful reveal of.
No, he's saying throughout the entire film.
I just wanted more of it. I guess. Like I just wanted more throughout the film.
Yeah, it came out and they stared at each other like that Diddy video. Hey, I thought about that too. I was like, hold on. Yeah. Are we about? He was like, yeah. He just looked at his ass and then he looked at him back like. And the mama ain't know what to do. She was over pissing on herself. The mama was like, if you don't stop looking at that goddamn with the big butthole face, if you don't bring your ass home, boy, it's a hairy butthole. That's a hairy asshole, big hairy asshole worm. Get your ass over here. What the fuck is wrong with you? He just looking at it like, and then it's
but that was towards the end too, right?
Yeah.
Right. Again, so it was just towards the end. So it's like I spent all this time and it's just now getting to see the worm.
But you didn't even know the worm was a thing until started watching the movie. Was it in the trailer?
Yeah.
The worm was in the trailer?
It was.
Yeah, some of the worm was in the trailer.
Yeah, the worm was in the trailer, and also, like I said, like I remember seeing clips of Dune, the old movie. I can't remember seeing the whole thing all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I know about the sandworms and all that. It's just
Well, if you know, then you know they're coming. So chill out.
Not in this movie though.
What did y'all think about the ambush? I know we talked about it a little bit, but just the holistic scene of seeing the ambush. I thought it was a really great action scene, and then also that going into how Paul and Jessica kind of get captured and then escape.
Mm-hmm.
I thought those were all really good back-to-back scenes.
So did you feel anything when the palm trees was burning?
No, I knew it was symbolism. I was like, damn, ain't that about a bitch? All that water
I was like
wasted.
100 niggas just gone, just water for 100 men gone. No, but I asked that because the conversation with the guy about the watering of the tree, and then you see them burning, like that was serious. That was like,
but I
to me.
also did a call back to what Gurney said as far as like these niggas is brutal, like they gonna make sure they. And I felt like that the scene like showcased it, like, oh yeah, they gonna just tear all your shit up. They don't give a fuck about what you care about.
They did.
So yeah, I thought the ambush scene was dope.
No, yeah. I thought they did a good job with that. That's one thing I do like about this one, because I mean you can do way more than what you were able to do back then. So that's what made that dope. Their reimagining of
you could do it then. It just was expensive.
This was 1980 something.
Well, some stuff like I read too, because I did a little bit of reading up too, like that this movie came out of production quite a few times because of the cost of it. Yeah,
right. But I'm saying, can you think of any movie in that era that could have done anything close to what this did as far as special effects? Like
if you even 80 something.
It was
84. Yeah, it came out in 84, which means that
they spent years working on it.
When did Blade Runner come out? What year? That was like around the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think so.
And the special effects are terrible in Blade Runner. It's one of my favorite films of all time, but the special effects are terrible. For them to make a big ass worm that didn't look ridiculous, even in the original, the worm looks ridiculous. It really looks like a big asshole. This one does like a big asshole too, but it at least looked like a herniated asshole.
All right, let's move on.
What does a herniated asshole look like?
I'll send you a link. Don't Google it. So yeah, I liked how we get to see Paul and Jessica use the voice like a tag team shit. I thought that was dope.
I thought they were gonna leave it out because that was my only thing from the original. I was like, this is stupid.
Really?
Yeah, like because their voice are. Take it off me. Untie me.
I liked it.
Cut the knife. Yeah,
that's the one thing from the original. I was like, that was unfucking necessary.
They got like the Freddy Krueger voice and shit.
No, it sounded like when Homeboy is doing the Batman voice. What's his name? Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime he becomes Batman. It's like, no, you're dude with laryngitis. Like that's that whole voice thing was stupid.
DLC.
I like
Duncan had a fight scene in this one too.
Yeah, he was. He was kicking. He was beating niggas up, and the other niggas like, all right, fuck, we ain't gonna fuck with him. Go ahead, take the shit, nigga. You could just ask.
Fucker, bro.
He was. Come on, Cal.
He didn't run from fucking Gurney
at all.
Gurney ran to him.
Yeah.
And they ran back at
They
his
showed
ass.
this. They didn't even stop running. When they came up out the fucking ground,
He
I
an
was like,
old
"Damn,
man.
this is dope."
He an old man.
That's why he
what.
got his ass whooped.
We don't know that. We ain't seen it.
Gurney got his ass whooped.
He did.
We
He
ain't seen
did.
it.
We ain't seen Gurney the rest of the movie. You talking about a long ass film? This shit was 3 hours long. We ain't seen Gurney yet. Gurney is on a gurney. He over there like, man, fuck all this shit. I didn't sign up for this.
He was gangster, man.
He was trying to.
He said, dude, we done, nigga.
What else we doing? Not this. He's out. No problem.
Nah, I like how he ran up on the first dude when he ran out. I didn't even realize that one guy was there when he fought him and hit him and whatever. I didn't even realize that was like the enemy at that point. Like that shit was dope, man. I like Gurney. I like Duncan too, man. Like he was gangster. He just like hit his chest and the motherfuckers ran off. I was like, damn, that's
They
crazy.
knew.
I don't know, man. I think part of me just couldn't get
Khal Drogo.
It was when he shaved his face, wasn't it?
not even that, but not
it was that
Khal
baby
Drogo, but,
face. It was like
Aquaman?
Aquaman. I couldn't get Aquaman out. I couldn't get
I
Aquaman
never
out of my.
once thought Aquaman.
Not at all.
Aquaman
I
the
didn't
whole
either.
time. I was just waiting
That's
for
why
this
you
nigga
like
to
the
say.
movie.
Yeah,
That's
I
why
didn't even
I was just
think
waiting for
about
him to say hoorah.
Honey,
I was waiting for this nigga to say hoorah. You said my boy and all that. I was like, he gonna say hoorah at any moment now.
No.
For whatever reason, I couldn't get him out
Don't
my
do
head.
Jason Momoa. Like, he's becoming a good
No,
actor.
he's good, but yeah, I don't know, man. For some reason,
You
I
ain't
couldn't
see
get Aquaman out my head.
Nice, CC.
Watch C on Apple TV.
I'm good.
Hoorah!
Fucking blind ass warriors.
Damn, you really didn't feel Aquaman at all when you saw it?
Not even remote.
You
I
either?
never. Only thing I
Not
ever
at
thought was
all.
Khal Drogo.
I
thought
Khal
him.
Drogo.
Because he had a sword. So I was like, that's Khal
Yeah.
Drogo. I'm looking for Khaleesi.
honey.
This was like Space Game of Thrones.
That's hilarious.
So Jessica and Paul escape in the sandstorm and shit. At the same time, we see that the poison that the Duke gave to the Baron fucked him up. This nigga had to take a nasty ass bubble bath.
Yeah, take a mud bath.
Yeah.
So white
You hit that nigga with halitosis.
He cleared the whole room.
The whole room
Dog, yeah, the whole room.
Even his
badass breath, bro. That's some bad.
They closed the door like, whoo.
Cuz that door quick. He was like, oh hell no. He even
Dude,
killed
it's some bullshit. God damn, what the fuck you sick? Yeah. He been eating something.
Got a rotten tooth.
Them big hairy butthole worms he was eating.
He was riding too.
Hey,
Fuck his breath
going back
up.
to that scene though where he had the Duke just
Laid
laying there
out.
butt ass naked,
Yeah, that
paralyzed,
was
while he
crazy.
just eating.
Oh yeah.
He was eating some mean ass oxtail,
Nah, that was
whatever the
dope.
hell he was eating.
Yeah, that
He was like, you got a great kitchen. Your kitchen staff is amazing.
Boy, that was a
different.
gangster ass scene though.
You strip a dude naked and just like
Man.
that's
Oh,
some
nah.
disrespectful ass.
And
shit.
you
Yeah.
paralyze him
Right.
too.
Maybe-
Nah,
yeah.
you can't do that. I don't know what you about to do to me. I'm terrified.
Yeah, you hit him with a dart and take all his clothes. Well, see, that could have been their implication of what the Baron was.
I was
doing.
just
And maybe that was
I didn't
an
think
ode
about
to the.
that.
Maybe that was like a little. Damn, what's the word? Like a little hint towards the first one.
That's what,
With
yeah,
him
that's what I'm
being
saying.
naked. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense. I never thought about that till now.
Yeah.
Well, they
was
did it really
awkward. Like, why is
well.
he there naked?
It
I never thought about
was.
it. Yeah.
That-
Yeah, me
if,
either.
if they did that, they did that well.
They did. 'Cause
Subtly,
I never
yeah.
thought about it.
Mhm.
That's dope.
Yeah, that mud bath. I was like, damn, this nigga. I was like, who was he talking to in that bath? And this nigga got up like, oh yeah, good on motherfuckers. He just went back in. I was like,
Kill 'em all.
He can't, all he got is neck, so he just came up just neck first, and he was like, "Yeah, kill them niggas." He just went back into sleep. I'm like,
Oh,
"Damn, how you
damn.
breathing that?"
We just lost 5 people after the butthole shit. I'm sorry, y'all.
Stupid. as
I'll
hell.
stop talking about booty holes. I don't know why y'all scared of booty holes though. What's
Did
it?
you
Eat like
just-
groceries?
Did you just?
That was Kevin.
Hey, Bad Boy Sis. Yeah, I fucks with the Expanse. That shit's dope, bro.
It ain't got buttholes in it though.
Why are we talking about asses?
Just Mike like fucking with people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, this is
An expanded butthole.
Keep it moving.
this is where we
your
this is where we get.
He's not doing it. He should know by now to shut me up, but he's not doing it.
Hey, you be yelling at me about not letting you talk, so I'm gonna let the people hear your shit, dog, nigga.
Not about assholes.
We get to the third act of the film, which takes 2 hours to tell, damn near. But this is where we get to see Paul and Jessica on their wild and crazy adventures in the desert. What did y'all think? Well, there was a Freeman woman. This is where we get to my little gripe too. Freeman woman. They killed too many.
Freeman. Might as well be Freeman.
Yeah, because she was basically Harriet Tubman to these motherfuckers. And that's what I got. This is my. There's too many black people that died in this movie, man. Too many. But Rod, are you? I know you was counting too, probably.
I wasn't counting, but now that you said, yeah.
Because we get Okie. Well,
You didn't have to count. There wasn't but 3 black people the whole fucking film.
They died. And they all,
Was it that still around? You talking about? I want to see
that's because she ain't been around.
we don't know what part 2. She might be gone quick. But now,
Might as well killed her off. She wasn't in the fucking.
I was fucking with her too.
Oh,
I liked her. I
Dr.
liked her
Conn's?
character.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I liked the fact that she was the black woman. Like I wasn't expecting that when they described the doctor, and I was like, "Yes, sis, I'm here for it."
She was
The
black in the original, right?
eccentric
White
doctor.
male, old white male.
Mhm.
Yeah, I liked her part. I liked how she helped. I thought she was gonna make it through. She sent them on her they merry way.
Mhm.
Then she just gets stabbed in the back.
She took some niggas
I
out.
think she's
though.
still alive.
Mm-mm.
You don't think so?
She got eaten by that worm.
I thought she know how to live inside the worm like
Well, that could be something.
Pinocchio.
Noah?
Pinocchio. Whatever.
Like Jonah.
You said like
Yes.
Pinocchio.
No, it's Jonah.
One of them. Shit.
One of the Bible
One of them,
stories.
one of them weird names.
Because it was kind of because it was kind of weird, like because that whole scene that makes sense. She was like, "Oh yeah, I know the desert, whatever," and she put the little thumper thing down to call the worm, and then she got stabbed, went on the ground, doom, 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 and then it came up, but she was smiling. It looked like she had a plan.
I think she was smiling because she's like, y'all thought you got me, but I'm taking you with
Damn,
me.
I hope that's not it.
I know my dick.
I took it the same way Mike just said it.
The only reason I think she might be alive is because we saw no blood. All we saw was water.
Yeah, that part.
So, because I watched it back again, I was like, did they stab her backpack or something? Like, what's the water?
Yeah.
So I didn't really get that.
I saw the water, but it went through her chest.
That's
I
what I thought.
I thought it went through both. Like it cut her in her chest and it just cut her water supply.
Because they stabbed her from
That's
the
what I
back
thought.
and it came
Mhm.
out her front. So I just got the impression that they stabbed through her chest and it like pierced the water pack or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Yeah, that was they set us up and pulled back on that one, but it's cool.
And then we see
They're saving it.
Paul and Jessica go through the desert. They somehow, some way, a worm comes out of nowhere. Was it?
It was probably the same one.
Yeah, it was following them, I guess.
Wait, you talking about when they started?
It was nightfall, and that's when they were
Running to
running.
run from it
Mhm.
because they were trying to do the 2-step.
Yeah,
They was doing the Cuban
Yeah,
shuffle.
and
They did
they-
the electric slide.
yeah.
To the right.
The Tootsie slide.
I'm like, do the Tootsie slide. I was walking it out like a motherfucker. I cut this shit off, Mike. I waited 2 hours for this nigga to do it.
I'm like, that's gonna take y'all forever to get across that damn desert.
They gonna
And we
live
haven't
though.
talked about the fact that Mama Doing is pregnant.
She didn't even know the
She
sun
ain't
knew.
showing though.
Yeah, she wasn't.
Hey, Kay Heartless.
What do you mean she wasn't?
She wasn't
She ain't
showing.
showing though.
No, she wasn't. Just because you're not showing doesn't mean that you don't feel the effects of being
She,
pregnant.
but-
she was running like she's doing nothing wrong. You can't.
Yeah,
She was running
She
for
a
her
witch,
life.
too.
That's what- I thought the baby.
She a
died.
witch too. So
That's
she
true.
probably
She's
carried that
probably
baby
too.
different.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
I was thinking like the baby died because she kept on holding her side, and I'm like, oh, the baby
Mhm.
gone, but that motherfucker.
Well, I don't think they said she was pregnant by that point, had they?
Yeah,
they
they
said she was already.
The son was like, yeah, I know you pregnant too.
And she was like, "How you
okay.
know that?"
She's like, damn, I just peed on the stick.
Yeah,
like
she
I
was
just
like-
found out.
I ain't even got the
Yeah,
results.
like stay on my business.
Right.
Yeah, I was sorry when the Fremen woman died.
But where did they fuck up with the worm? Because if the motherfucker knew how to walk across the goddamn desert, did they just get tired and forget?
I'm trying to remember. Something happened.
Yeah, something
I
happened.
don't remember what it was. Something happened. They got to a point.
oh yeah, he heard they stepped on something hard. There was something buried
Yeah,
underneath
yeah.
it.
Oh,
He was like,
Yeah,
oh
it made
shit,
it
this
sound-
yeah, but it's supposed to have a rhythm though.
Mm-mm.
No, he said if you
And they white, they could have just walked around all across the desert with no
no,
problem.
well his
Them
issue was
motherfuckers
he
ain't
kept
got rhythm.
tapping that
It's
motherfucker.
not rhythm. It's not rhythm that attracts them. It's any kind of vibration. So if you're sliding across the ground like this, you're not creating a vibration. But when they hit whatever that hard thing was, it created a vibration.
But he kept tapping. I'm like, nigga,
Somehow
stop.
it
You heard it
has a
once.
science,
But I don't
like-
know why he kept tapping. That was stupid. And I was
Yeah.
like, if you know it's hard, why are you still tapping on it?
Yeah, I thought they were about to go in there.
I was saying, Mike. I was gonna let it go because we all live. But we see that Jessica and Paul get the safety and shit. And then they run into the leader of the Dusty niggas.
It was the old boy from the beginning.
Old boy came back again. He had a gobble spit for them.
Mhm.
What did y'all think of this scene as far as us returning?
Oh,
to
Billy said it was a trap.
What was a trap?
That thing they walked on. Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Okay, yeah. But what did y'all think of this scene when we get reintroduced to the natives?
This was the only scene where I'm with Rod. This kind of aggravated me a little bit. It was just like, bro could have put up a better fight. That's all I'm saying.
And I thought they was gonna be.
Jameis was a punk.
Man,
I thought they was gonna be buddies because he had a vision like, oh yeah, bro, I'm gonna show you.
Remember, the
way.
visions can be wrong. Or maybe he misinterpreted the vision.
Right.
Maybe the death wasn't necessarily his death, but Jameis's death. And that's how he was reborn. Because, Jameis did went out like a chump.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man.
And he called him out too.
He did.
I'm like, bro, I thought he was gonna be, because Zendaya hyped him up too. Like, oh yeah, that nigga cold.
Yeah.
But he gonna kill you soft.
I just want you to have a fighting chance, but you're gonna die. You're still gonna die.
She's like, here, my grandmama's sword. Take this.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll show you the easy way now.
That's the only part, because I feel like if they had some real tension with that fight, it may have been a more satisfying ending.
Perhaps.
But when it ended right after that, it was like, bro, are you fucking
he was
serious?
playing with him. Cuz was like, bro, why he killing him? He was like, oh, he ain't never killed nobody before.
Well, that part I was
don't-
fine with, but
Yeah, I didn't take it because I know his mom said he never killed anybody before, but I didn't even take it as that. I took it as in his mind, he's thinking he's gonna die because of the visions. So the fact that wasn't happening, I almost feel like he thought he needed to not, like, this isn't the way it was supposed to go. Almost, that's the way I took it.
I think he kind of knows that his visions aren't 100% clear. at this
Really?
point. I think so, because like,
He kind of said it in the beginning. Because remember when the old lady asked the Reverend, she was like, how accurate are your visions? Or like, are they premonitions? And he was like, not so much.
Right.
Not really.
and they kind of make that clear at the beginning when they said something like dreams or visions from the deep or whatever. I think by the middle of the film, Paul realizes that these are premonitions, but they're not always 100% correct,
I agree.
which I think is interesting.
I can get
But
that.
by the time he gets to that point, I think Paul knew he wasn't going to die, but he still saw that vision. So he was probably trying to figure out exactly what that meant. I just wish it was a better fight.
That's what I was saying. Like that's why I
cut
say
Paul, pop him in his face a good couple times, something.
he beat him 3 times. Like,
Easily, though.
and I'm like, all right, you shitty, bro. Go on.
Come on, yield.
Right.
He got that made him mad. Like, motherfucker, don't tell me to yield.
Right. Now, you had to beat me.
Yeah,
I'm not going to give up.
Because I think he whipped him so bad, the motherfucker just started screaming and shit. Like,
He wasn't
I
expecting
thought that was frustration.
He
Like
was
he was
frustrated.
mad because they were like, he's playing with him, and he's like, stop playing with him. Either you gonna fight me and kill me, or stop fucking with me. Like you making me look stupid at this
Right.
point.
He's supposed to be their best warrior.
He was?
Yeah. He's supposed to be like maybe not their best, but one of their best warriors. That's why Zendaya was like, "Yeah, you're gonna die, dude.
yeah.
You're
But
gonna
he's a
die."
good fighter, so he'll kill you quick.
I would
Right,
think
he'll
after
kill you quick. Yeah, he'll give you
afterwards,
mercy.
after his mama beat up the leader, I'm like, if the
Yeah,
mama
but
doing
she's
that,
different. She knows that other fighting style, the Bene Gesserit fighting style, and she's a witch. Which Paul knows the Bene Gesserit fighting style too, but it was just like we could have got a little bit more out of this fight.
And it would have been it would have been more satisfying because once he got to this part, you can, if you pause, you can see like, oh shit, ain't much left on here. So this right here must be like, the climax of the film or just the way it's going to end with some action.
Him to die. Right. So from the
black guy?
from the previous vision, you kind of expecting Paul to die, like to get stabbed or get hurt or something. So based on that, I was like, okay, so maybe he gonna die and come back to life and he gonna be arisen as this whatever.
Yeah.
So you're kind of expecting something major to happen because of the visions. So the fact that I can't agree that the fact that it wasn't an impactful scene did leave you kind of
Right. That's the only part that I was irritated. Like it ended on that.
Yeah. Yep.
Paul got out of this completely. It was a flawless victory. Paul
Yep.
got out of this with nothing. Give
Yep.
us a little bit more of this
I
fight.
think-
And,
yeah, it was just I just took that scene after watching it like, oh, okay, we just got introduced to Zendaya. That was it. Like that was the whole point
y'all
of it.
really stuck on Zendaya.
No, I'm just saying like that was it. That was we finally got to the point.
Too, Nick. It's cool. But,
No, she's beautiful. I'm just saying like we could have got her in somehow other way than just seeing the white man kill a nigga. Like, that took me out, Mike.
It took you out.
But
God damn. Would you rather there not be any black folks in the whole movie or the three
no, I
punks?
did like it at
'Cause
first.
trust me,
I did like it at
There
first.
is a version like that.
No, I did like it at first, Mike. I was like, oh shit, we finally got black people in the future.
And then in the desert.
We never see black. Then
Well, old dude with the eye on up his head, the little chubby Aussie looking
Count like a
guy.
count like
yeah.
a motherfucker.
Yeah. They didn't
With
spend
that
time on
umbrella?
that either.
with the Geisha umbrella.
I forgot his name.
I forget his name too, but they're like a whole
Starts with a T.
sect of people that are trying to be human
Because he fucked up his job, remember? He was like, "Oh man, my bad. Yeah, that was
Yeah, I'll
he
give
had
you
got
my
in here.
resignation.
Yeah, I'm gonna
He's
resign."
like, I don't give a fuck if you want to resign myself.
He said, "Why you gonna resign when we need your ass? Like, what kind of shit is that?"
Deal with that shit later.
And then what they fucking with him when he started talking in the meeting, and then he started talking, and people started kind of saying, making fun of him and stuff.
Because those people are fucking weird. Like they're human
okay.
computers.
Okay.
And they've been trying to make themselves that way. And I thought that when they showed him, like when he was thinking and he rolled his eyes in the back of his head to get the answer, I thought that was dope. But it didn't really give a lot of exposition as to why those people are like that.
We'll find
But
out
yeah,
in
we
part
got a
2.
couple black people.
And 3 and 4 and 5.
No, I did like that. I did like the black people. It's just I was like, I just started noticing like, all right, hold on.
So were they African? Was it supposed to be like Africans or something like that in the desert and shit?
I mean,
The Freemen?
that didn't look like Africa to me.
I mean, but like in 1,001 something,
10,000 BC. Yeah, well,
we don't know what this shit gonna look like.
I don't think there's well,
Why the black people out be all out in the desert?
No, it was a lot of different. It was Hispanic.
It was the
people.
minorities.
It
Oh,
did look
so
like
the
people of
colors.
color. It did look
So the
like
colors.
POCs.
I didn't even know.
I don't think I noticed any looking like Paul.
So there's no Caucasoids up in there.
There's probably a couple. Maybe they just got a little.
Maybe the one riding riding the worm is the white motherfucker.
Nah, because he had too much swag. That had to be a
Didn't
black
he?
man.
That motherfucker was happy as hell.
Yeah, he was flying surfing. We the only ones with the real whip. You know, like we don't want that little fucking butterfly looking shit. No, I want the worm, son. I want to ride this booty hole, bro.
Oh yeah, the thaws.
You trying to ride what?
Even in the future, we ride that ass, son. You know what I'm saying? Leave it to the fucking space ass black folks to find the booty in the desert. Oh, I'm about to ride that shit, boy. Put that song on. Come on, ride that shit. Give me that dog button and big old ass.
It's not that funny.
Oh man. Yeah, stupid.
But don't it look more like an uncircumcised dick though?
Oh my god.
We're not.
Last thoughts on this film. Hey Dave, help us wrap up this. What are you expecting out of part 2?
I'm expecting. Oh Jesus Christ!
Just wait.
You gotta clip that off. You gotta fold the skin back.
Is that what he was riding?
Yo,
Y'all nasty,
fucking
Y'all niggas is too grown to be laughing and riding asses and uncircumcised dicks. That's really what we doing.
That's all right, man. I'll do the Tootsie Roll on my way. Y'all ain't riding that dick. I'm good. I'll take the long way home.
For real, I won't. Fuck that, I ain't riding that shit. Hell no, bro. I will walk. What if you get on this dick? Hold on tight.
He said, we got spacecrafts and hoverboards, and you still riding dick?
You on a damn dick around the desert.
You too, Nicholas. How you gonna reel it in?
That motherfucker 450.
I can't be him. I gotta join him, man.
This year, 10,000 something. Y'all still riding dicks in the desert. Fuck this
Shit, in the
shit,
first
bro.
one, they had something like a sperm.
Right, they sure did.
They what? This one in here.
Oh,
It probably came from the worm.
Oh man. All right.
Why, y'all? Why?
Nay,
Yes.
closing thoughts for this film.
I thought the film was amazing. I thought I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the mom character too. Like I really liked the fact that she was a witch, and the mother was probably my favorite character of the movie outside of Paul. I like the strength of the women in this movie. I thought that was dope. And all in all, it was I got immersed in the world. I didn't need to see the original or have the reference of the original to be able to enjoy what I watched. I think the set design was beautiful. The costuming was beautiful. Everything that they did with this really, the level of detail and intricacy that they put into this really made it easy for you to get sucked in. So I enjoyed it.
I was gonna add on to something you said, and I thought it was really on point. It felt like moving poetry,
It
like
was.
with the
Gurney's dialogue always. It was like he was speaking in proverbs.
yeah. I really liked Gurney, but just the way that things moved, like you said, like I think when an attack was happening, the way they came down real softly and hit
Oh,
the
that shit was
ground,
gangster.
like,
Wasn't it?
it was real, like you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It was just the way they did stuff. It seemed like
Operatic.
people were whispering the whole movie too. Like it was like
That's the main reason why I like watching it at home, because I was
Yeah.
like, I had subtitles, so I could, because in these movies they always be whispering in the dark. I'm like, nigga, enunciate, motherfucker.
yeah.
Yeah, they could have cut the sound from like there was all these background sounds when they were
Mhm.
whispering, so you really couldn't tell what the hell they were saying. But yeah, that was kind of annoying.
Yeah, but no, man. I would never deny that this movie is beautiful. It really is a good movie. And now that I understand that, it is other parts to it, I can accept it a lot more now. I definitely want to go back and watch it. I do think if I watch it again, I probably will absolutely enjoy it more, with more context and know that it's a bigger story here. But yeah, the first time I watched it, I have to be honest. Like I felt bored. You know what I'm saying? It looked good, but I felt bored, and that's just an honest first feeling. Because I had certain expectations, but now, that I see it's a bigger story here, I think I can appreciate this one a lot more now. But not yeah. So I definitely don't hate this movie, and I definitely don't think it isn't a good movie or whatever. I think it's good.
Mike,
Yeah, I really liked it. I think there's some things that I kind of wish I hadn't seen the original almost, because there were things that I just don't know why they took out. Like they didn't really spend any time getting into what spice really is. There's a character from the original, the Navigator, that I was really wanting to see what the hell they were going to do with him, because in the original he kind of like a big butthole too, really. A big butthole with eyes. He was just floating around in a big tank of water. And he was supposed to be originally a human, but he did too much spice and it turned him into that. I was really wanting to see what they did with him in this, but they kind of just left his whole character out completely. And the whole Space Guild, they left them out. But yeah, there were certain things that I didn't understand why they changed, but then other things I think that they did a really fucking good job changing, because I feel like spending more time with this world made it make more sense. So yeah, I loved it. I don't know how well it's doing in the box office, so hopefully it does get a part two.
it looked like it's supposed to be like the next biggest thing. Like from what I'm seeing, like the red carpet and all that shit, it looked like everybody was anticipating this film. Like,
Well, anticipating it, but
No,
is
I
it
thought
doing
it
well?
did really well in the
yeah,
box
it
office.
did.
Okay.
This budget for what I'm reading was like 165 million,
Mm-hmm.
and so far it's made over 220. So
That's
in the
not that great.
in a pandemic, I think is decent.
Yeah, but I don't think these guys are looking for decent. They're looking
Nope.
for probably 3 to 4 times what they put into it.
They
And if
need
they're
this
only
to
doing
hit.
double, that's not great. It's still a big number, but in relative to what they spent.
I get what you mean. I
You know
get
what I
what you mean.
But hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully more people go see it.
Mhm.
Now that it's widely known that it's part one of a 2-part story, I think that might hurt it. So we'll see. But yeah, I thought it was great. I can't wait to watch it again. I just haven't had the time. But yeah, man, it almost feels like they're building another Star Wars world, and I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I want movies to get back to this, where you go in there and you're sucked into a world and you stay there for fucking 3 hours. But I will agree that the end did leave me a little bit annoyed, because I was just like, bro, that's are you fucking for real? That's it?
Yeah.
We see somebody riding the worm way back in the background, and Zendaya just says, yeah, it's only the beginning.
Zendaya.
Whatever.
You do.
her barely in it ass, she's in Zendaya today. But either way, yeah, I thought this was fucking great, man.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
And yeah, Ken, you big into sci-fi, so
Yeah, I am. Like I said, I'm a bit conflicted. Like when I got to the ending, when I realized what they were doing, and this is why I try to avoid a lot of stuff going into movies, because I just want to go on the ride, right? And you see part one, and then you see people saying that, oh, this is going to be the next Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. I'm like, they're trying to build up this thing. So I'm like, okay, I see and understand what they're trying to do. And they could do it with Dune. I think there's a lot here that they can explore and tell, but it's just like, on one hand, you can't. The problem with the first one, you can't put all that into one movie. And then the problem with the second one is that you took half of the first movie and put it into one movie and made it longer. What you needed to do, because there's a lot to tell here, but it's still I felt like half of the first movie, which is only 2 hours and 16 minutes. This is 2.5. So it's like you remade the first movie, you made it longer, but it's mainly a setup. And then the action scene at the end just wasn't satisfying enough for me to be like, it wasn't enough of a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
To be like, oh man, I can't wait to part 2. It's like, okay, part 2 is just going to conclude the retelling of the first movie. But at the same time, you need all of that to tell it, because it's a huge story that they need to tell and to set up to get to wherever they want to go. So that's why.
Was it still stupid, or you changing your mind a little bit?
I think it's still stupid.
Jesus Christ.
Because the way they did it. But
you said
it's a necessary stupidity.
That's what's confusing about your.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, because I don't know if they needed to. I don't know, man. I got to sit with it, because I don't know if they really needed to do it this way.
I think you'll think it's fine. I think
that's why I watched it again.
Yeah, I think you watch it again.
If he watched it twice and he thought it was stupid, he thinks it's stupid. That's fine.
I don't know.
It's fine for you to
I don't
think
know.
it's
I think
stupid.
I don't know, man. I'm conflicted. I don't know if there's another way they could have did it without. Maybe just make it 3 fucking hours. Why do you have to break it up into 2 parts?
Oh, that's what you're saying.
No. You got to think about it. Because remember what you said at the beginning, and I agree with you 100%. They rushed that last half of the original movie.
Yeah.
To the point where it's just like, are you fucking kidding? That's it? They have to actually fix that. If they spent this much damn time setting all this little shit up, that next one, it needs to be 2.5.
Because they added that whole thing with them being with Dr. Krynes and Duncan and shit like that. So
we still haven't really been told anything about the Kwisatz Haderach. I guarantee that's going to be in the next one. We never heard them call him, was it Mudabid, whatever the fuck that weird name is they call him. We didn't hear any of that. All of that has to be in the next one. So that next one has to be at least 2.5 hours long.
Damn.
It has to be.
Fuck, man.
Y'all just rest and be cool with it. Stop being like these little kids.
I'm glad I talked to y'all about this, especially Nay and Mike, just because y'all gave me context, y'all gave me understanding. So I like it more. Still don't think it's 2.5 hours, but I like it more. You know what I mean? Like I'm more leaning towards y'all side. So I'm excited for the second film.
Maybe it was just the ending. I don't know.
Why he didn't never marry the mama? That's what I need to
I
understand.
don't think marriage is a thing there, really.
Would you marry a witch?
They're in year 10,000 something.
You had a baby with her?
Now, we have a baby with a lot of motherfuckers. Would you marry them?
Yeah, when you the main motherfucker, shit, I'm not getting married neither. I don't even want to get married now. Let me be a motherfucking dude.
Especially if you can put my hand through some shit, make it hurt, and then pull it back. I'm like, oh hell,
That might be tight, man. What you can do to your dick?
hey.
But she next to him like the queen. Like they was treating her. This one, I want to go to the movies and watch this one. I want to see it on the screen.
Like you right.
Hey, I felt like I needed to be at a theater to see this with some of those scenes.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie. Like I might have to wait a week or two and go.
They was saying that in the Reddit thread, like, I hope y'all seen this at IMAX.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let y'all know right now. I'm looking at the camera. If you give me the option to watch it at home, I'm gonna watch it at home.
I don't know, Nick. I think this one needs it.
No, I'm not saying I won't.
in the theater too.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I won't ever go to the theater to see it, but I'm just saying, like, first look, I'm watching it at home. I'm not watching it in the theater.
I wish no, I think you might be right.
Because I gotta see if it's good enough for me to pay money to go to the theater.
The only thing that would have made it okay for me to go to the I have to have subtitles. Because I wouldn't have got a quarter of what
That's
the
why.
fuck they were
That's
saying.
why I'm glad I watched it at home because of the subtitles.
I'm gonna get one of those hard to hearing apps or whatever it is that you can get on your phone and they'll give you subtitles when the movie's going. I'm gonna get one of those because I really need subtitles when I watch movies, especially something like this where they're talking fast, they're whispering, they're saying words that aren't real words.
Then they get real loud and then they get real quiet.
Real loud, it gets real quiet. I need to see that stuff. And I keep meaning to download that app, but I keep forgetting to do it.
So when is part 2 scheduled?
It's not scheduled. That's the thing. So it's only because I think just today one of them kind of hinted that it's actually being made. But when this came out, it was basically just like Star Wars. It was dropped out there and had to see how it's going to do before they clear the other parts.
But imagine if it doesn't get
That's what I'm saying. Then it's gonna be fucking ridiculous.
It's gonna get.
Why
It's
y'all
gonna
need
get.
to go to
They
the
gotta do a
theater
part
and
two,
watch
bro.
this movie.
Because if they don't do a part 2 and this is what we got,
They already talked about doing a part. I think HBO Max.
it needs to be clear.
They already said that they.
I don't think they have.
I
Did
thought they already said
I
that
hope I'm wrong.
a
but I don't
sequel
think
is
they
already
have.
like.
They
planned
need to be
come
making
out.
it.
I haven't
If they
read that
making
it's
it,
been-
I'm okay. But if they don't make this shit, and I'm with Mike. Like this shit needs to hit. If this shit ain't number one, so the sales sound like they're doing okay. But if the reception has to be good too.
That's the other thing.
And if the
Right.
reception isn't positive or glowing,
Oh shit! Now I'm seeing shit from Variety talking about some.
Is it
Why
strong
hasn't the
enough?
sequel been announced yet?
Exactly.
Right.
if
It's
they don't
because
announce the
motherfuckers are complaining about
boy,
the shit. But the thing about it is, if they don't make the sequel, I'm not blaming the film. I'm blaming y'all motherfuckers. Not y'all here.
No, I know.
Because
But
y'all
like,
want
but
instant
who? Like
gratification.
y'all like who?
Yes. I'm blaming the people that are going to the movie and being like, "Oh my god, it ended. And this was stupid. I'm walking out because it didn't get me to the da 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 da."
'Cause there's a lot of that
blaming
going on.
them. I know. I'm blaming them because they're not letting the movie be a movie. They're not letting a story be a story. I'm blaming them. I'm not blaming the movie. The part 2 doesn't make this movie good. This movie was good because you know what's going on, you know what's happening, and you know it's a setup. So if you're gonna complain about a setup movie being a setup, then that's your fault.
It's a hell of a risk to take.
It is
to do a part 1 without a guaranteed part 2.
It is, but you gotta also understand that when they started making this, they didn't know fucking punk ass COVID was coming.
That's true.
They thought that this was gonna be in the theater. This is supposed to come out a year ago, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be coming out in 2020.
So if this came out on time and it was in the theater, these numbers would be a lot better. The numbers aren't so much the issue. The issue, just like you said, it's the perception and it's people being like, well, this wasn't good because I didn't get a solid ending. But that's not the movie's fault.
But did that fit? Well, no, it's part 1, so it ain't supposed to feel like a conclusion.
Exactly.
I wonder what the Dune like diehard cult classic Dune fans thinking.
Because I mean, if you're a fucking diehard fan of David Lynch's version, David Lynch is my favorite director. But this is the one movie that I don't even know if y'all saw. He did this under a fake name because he's just like, this was an embarrassment. I don't know why the fuck I did this. But if people are diehards of David Lynch's version of this, I don't see how they can walk into this and be like, this is bullshit.
Right.
I don't get it. Unless they're just upset because they didn't get the full movie, which I had that feeling for about 5 minutes. I was like, fuck you guys. Are you serious? I'm not getting the fucking battle scene. But then after you calm down, you realize, okay, cool, we're going to get all of that. We have to wait for it. I'm more than fine with it.
Because that battle scene today, with what they can do now,
would be
that shit
amazing.
would be fucking crazy.
That is what I want to fucking see. But it's going to be at least 2 years before we see that. So people just need to calm down, spend some more time watching this version, get acclimated with this confusing ass world. And
I'm going to go to the theater to see it for sure. But, you know, I would like to think that they would like it because I think it stayed pretty much true as close as they could to the original. So
Kevin Holden said Dune fans like the movie.
well, that's good.
That's all that matters.
that's good. Then.
It's not all that matters. That's the problem.
I thought
They
there was a
got
lot of them.
because they got to bring in the casuals too.
Right.
Okay.
For it to make enough money, it has to bring in people that aren't just Dune fans.
Well, people like Timothy Chalamet. Yeah, young girls like them, so he'll get that audience.
Fuck yeah, but they're gonna walk into it and be like, "This was terrible."
Yeah, that's not the audience. For
Young
this.
girls are gonna walk into this film and be like, "What in the fuck was this bullshit? What is this big worm thing? What are these weird words they're saying? I don't get any of this." I mean, it's not like that Timothy guy killed his role. It's not like I walked out being like, "Damn, that guy's an amazing actor." No, he was deadpan, just like he's supposed to be, though. Just like he's supposed to be. But nah, I mean, I'm worried about the film. I hope it does well, but I could totally see this bombing and that affecting part 2 coming out.
I'm pulling for it.
Clearly not. If you're calling this shit stupid on camera,
It is.
bro. You a turncoat.
Damn.
He said, damn.
All right, those are our thoughts on 2021's Dune. Please let us know what you guys think. You guys are also letting us know in the chat. We appreciate y'all, but please let us know in the Reddit thread, FPS Podcast. Also, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube page. Please tell your friends and family to do so as well. We like actually doing these lives, so we're going to do more and more as the months come on. So yes,
we can't tap out yet. You see Guadalupe?
Yeah,
She
Guadalupe
going at you,
tripping.
bruh.
what?
Guadalupe ain't fucking with Ken at all.
At all.
Oh, what happened?
God damn. I don't know if I want to read this. Guadalupe, what did he do to you? Jesus.
I don't know, but
Guadalupe
they
said,
mad.
Ken's only mad because by the time part 2 comes out, his dementia will already be in stage 4.
Oh,
She,
hey,
right?
honestly,
Jesus, Guadalupe.
that might help me appreciate part 1 even more because I forget that I hated it. I thought it was stupid.
There you go, Guadalupe. Say something to that. I didn't care.
Please also follow us on our social sites, IG and Twitter. The same handle is FPS Podcast. That'll do it for us. We'll catch you